Hello everyone, welcome back. This is Rose Puppy and I hope you all had a happy and more importantly, safe Thanksgiving. Yesterday was actually our second Thanksgiving with Angel. I don't think she realized that it was a holiday though. So anyway, I like to tell stories. And if you've met me, there is a chance that you know of my terrible science teacher that I had when I was in 7th grade. I love to tell stories about that idiot. Some of the things he said and done often make me wonder how he was even hired in the first place, to be honest. I've got so many stories to tell of him, such as the time he did nothing when some of my classmates were yelling at me, the time he compared us to university students, and the time he thought a doctor hypnotized him, and then even the time he tried to walk out on us in the middle of class. But today I won't be talking about any of those times. Today I will be telling you of one of my favorite stories about him. So sit back, maybe grab some popcorn if you want, and get ready for the tale of a time Mr. Idiot went to the bottom of the Mariana Trench. Enjoy! So, like I said, this all happened a few years ago when I was in 7th grade, so I don't remember all the details perfectly. So anyway, this guy, let's call him Mr. Idiot for the sake of privacy, he was not the best teacher. Nobody liked him. Once when we were changing for PE, the 6th grade PE teacher came in, and she's like, 7th graders, you're going to have Mr. Idiot as a sub today. And we all started groaning and complaining. And she's like, I know, I'm not happy about it either. So yeah, nobody really liked him. Anyway, for example, some of the things that made him such a bad teacher was that he'd tell us things to do. So we were using this thing called Summit Learning back then, and he would give us these things to do, and he'd give us 5 minutes to design a prototype, for the to be used to clean up plastic in the ocean and stuff. Most of the time, I wouldn't even have time to finish the part of the assignment, and it's just annoying because then he wouldn't give us time to finish it. He'd just be like, okay, move on to the next thing, which usually required us having finished the previous part of it. It was annoying. Not only did he not give us enough time to complete things, he would also not give us enough instructions. For the same project with that recycled cleaning prototype thing, he wanted us to create a presentation like he basically did with every project, and he wanted us to use either Wix or if we wanted just create another Google Slides presentation and create a website for it. He did not even really tell us exactly what he wanted on the website, which was really annoying. It's like he expected us to be mind readers or instantly know what he wanted. So yeah, it was really annoying, and asking him questions didn't really help either. So anyway, as I said, and one more annoying thing is that he apparently did not really know how to use Wix in the first place, because for example, I used it, and I could never access it. I could access it from from my Google, if I was logged in my Google account, but I couldn't access it on any other device. Along with a lot of other kids who used Wix, we couldn't access the website. It would take us to a page and be like, error 404, page not found, for every single one who used it. And you know what he said? He's like, oh, well, if you can't get yours to work, just find someone who has been able to get it to work and ask them for help. So I'm just thinking, dude, why would you have us do this if you don't know how to do it yourself? How do you expect us to do this? Oh, he was so frustrating and annoying, and I hated him. It's just, no. There's also one time when he kept going on instead of actually teaching us, he'd be like, see, that whiteboard back there, sometimes I'm thinking, wouldn't it be cool if I every time I spoke, that whatever I said would be written in gold on that whiteboard. And the dude had a microphone and a speaker anyway, so yeah. And it's just really annoying because the whiteboard was on the opposite end of the room from him, so either we'd be looking at him or we'd be looking at the whiteboard. So yeah. Sorry, my throat's a little dry. And he also gives us these dumb questions on Google Classroom, such as like, do you think we're in a virtual reality? Why or why not? Do you think, if we weren't, do you think we know? And I'm like, what does this have to do with science? This is a science. You're a science teacher. Also, I feel like feel like we mostly had to teach ourselves more than he taught us. The most he would do was just play a video for us and expect us to learn everything from that and just tell us what assignments we need to do and where the instructions were. So he didn't really do much anyway. I'm not sure how he's even hired. He actually apparently been hired the year before when I was in 6th grade. So, yeah. Anyway. Okay, so like I said, nobody liked this guy. And yeah. So on to the actual story part. So President's Week break just ended and everyone has returned to school. Everyone, that is, except for Mr. Idiot. 2 weeks and no sign of him. The rumor was that he had sent one of his students, a black girl who I had history with, to the office after telling her, "Your kind doesn't belong here." Yeah, I am not making this up. They said that afterwards he had been suspended with pay, that he was put on administrative leave, and that's why he wasn't there at school. Now, I am not the one to instantly believe rumors kids tell at school, but I didn't dismiss it immediately as 100% impossible and false. I just decided that I would wait until I heard more information about it before making up my mind. Especially since I wasn't in that class. I didn't have science with this girl. I don't even know what period she was in and when this happened. So I didn't want to jump to conclusions. I know that may sound bad to some people, but in my defense, I was tired and just trying to get through the school year, not get involved in rumors that may or may not be true and drama that I could avoid. Now, however, let's just say I believe the rumor way more than I did when I first heard it. So it's been 2 weeks, and he has not shown up. And then on the 3rd week, so he doesn't show up on Monday. But then on Tuesday, a day when we're all taking tests, so our class schedule is kind of messed up a bit, he's there. And weird thing that he was doing, so it was the 6th and 7th graders taking the test, while all the 8th graders were all packed into the cafeteria doing a sex ed class, and he was just sitting in there. That's how he spent the time when we were testing. He didn't have a class because he didn't have a testing class. And I don't know, I just think that's a little weird. Because you'd think he'd have better things to do than watching a bunch of 8th graders take sex ed. So, I don't know. But anyway, so it's after lunch, and I have to go to 4th period, his class. And so kids, as we're entering, there are lots of kids, including myself, are asking him why wasn't he here. And he's like, "I'll answer that later after class starts." So we all sit down, and then he starts talking about like the Himalayas being the tallest place on Earth, like the highest place on Earth. And I'm just like, what is this? I'm thinking, what does this have to do with anything? And then he starts talking about the Mariana Trench being being the deepest place on Earth. And he says that he claims that the reason why he was gone for 2 weeks was because he went on a paid research sabbatical to the bottom of not just the Mariana Trench, the very bottom of the Mariana Trench with a, and I quote, vacuum thing. Yes, he really said vacuum thing. That's how he described it. To clean up bits of plastic trash that were down there. First of all, as one of my classmates pointed out, 7th grade science, my 6th and 7th grade science teachers don't get paid research sabbaticals. They don't. He's not a university professor or anything. He's not a college professor. Seems to think he is. Because of how, once he even said to us, I've never seen this behavior from university students when kids were talking. And now he's claiming that he went on a paid research sabbatical. So I guess he thinks that he's a college professor or university professor or something. I don't know. And secondly, has anyone even ever been to the bottom of the Mariana Trench yet? Yeah. Here, let's look it up.
It has any... Oh, look, there it is. Okay, so it looks like someone has, but the name is Victor Vescovo. That is not my science teacher's name. That was not his name.
Not even close to his name. So anyway, as you can imagine, none of us believed him at all. And the funny thing is, someone asked him if he took pictures, and he said no. When asked why not, he said, my camera didn't work down there. Another interesting thing about that is that yesterday when I went to class, not yesterday, the next day when I went into class, I don't know why I said yesterday. When I went into class, I asked him, why didn't you take any pictures? This time he said, I forgot. Which is it, Mr. Idiot? Did you forget? Or did you, or did your camera not work? There, which is it? I don't know. What happened with the girl and with the rumor? Someone asked about it, and his response was so he had his response wasn't that great. It was like, whose girl's name? I'm not going to say her name for privacy reasons, like I said earlier. But it's just, dude, that's not helping at all. I don't know. Anyway, before I end this video, I do have one more thing to say about this. Actually, two more things. Basically, as I mentioned earlier, I had him 4th period, okay? And so after 4th period, there was history, and then I had English for 6th period. And in English, how the classroom was arranged was there were, I think, the desks were in groups of 4. And so there was this kid who sat in the group with me who had him, I guess he had him 5th period. And I think, so here's an interesting thing. You think that even if most kids didn't believe it, he'd try to stick to the same story with all his classes in order to make it more believable. So I mentioned the story to the kid, and guess what he said? He said that Mr. Idiot had told them that the real reason he's gone for 2 weeks was because he had gone on a vacation to Hawaii. Now that definitely is more believable than him going on a paid research sabbatical to the very bottom of the Mariana Trench with a vacuum thing to clean up pieces of plastic garbage down there. But he should have, if he wanted to be more believable, he should have stuck to the same dumb story. So that is just ridiculous. We aren't stupid. We aren't as dumb. Here's what I want to, internally, here's what I think about that. I'm yelling at him. I'm basically like, we're not as dumb as you are. We're not going to fall for that. Just because you said a more believable story, that makes both stories sound even less believable. I don't know. So the other thing that I wanted to say before I end the video was that he was at actually a few, I don't really remember how long, but like I think so at least a month before the last day of school, might have been more than a month, he disappeared again. And so we didn't know, so we had a sub for a good portion of the end of the year, and let's just say we all like the subs better than Mr. Idiot. So yeah, but anyway, so the thing is, so he was gone, and I even made a joke that when he comes back, he will claim that he had gone to Mars or something. And yeah, he didn't come back. Apparently, I think he was fired. So yeah. But it honestly would have been kind of funny if he did come back claiming he went to Mars or the moon or something. I don't know. I did not like that. So anyway, yeah. So that was the end of the story. I think I don't know when, but eventually I will. I think maybe the next video I do will be about the story, my other favorite story about him to tell, which happened that same week. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching. Until next time, bye!